Welcome all. In this lecture, we are discussing about the steps involved in solution of circuit using Kirchhoff's laws. So before going to the steps, we can discuss about some terminologies which are used in these steps. First one is node. A node is a point of connection between two or more elements in a circuit. For example, consider this circuit. So here this point is formed by connection between this element and this element. So it is a node. Similarly, if you are considering this point, it is formed by interconnecting this element and this element, three elements. So it is another node. Similarly, this point is formed by connecting 80 ohm and 5 ohm current source. So it is another node. Similarly here, there is an interconnection between this element and this element, so it is a node. And if you are looking here, this point, it is formed by interconnecting 50 ohm, 30 ohm and 20 volt, so it is another node. And here there is an interconnection between this element and this element, so it is another node. So the nodes are A, B, C, D, E, F. And next is symbol node. So we told that a node is a point of connection between two or more elements. Okay, two or more elements. But if the node is formed by only two elements, it is called symbol node. For example, consider this is only by two elements, 20 volt and 10 volt. So A is symbol node. B is formed by three elements, so it is not a symbol node. C is only by 2, so it is symbol node. D is by 5 ampere and 30 ohm, so it is symbol node. E is by 3 elements, 30, 50 and 20 volt, so it is not a symbol node. But F is by this voltage source and this resistance, only 2 elements, so it is a symbol node. Next is principal node. Symbol node is only by 2 elements. If there are more than 2 elements, the point of the node formation is by more than 2 elements, 3, 4, like that. Okay, it is called principal node. Consider this B. B is formed by 1, 2, 3 elements, so B is principal node. Similarly, this E is by this element and this element, so it is principal node. So B and E are principal nodes and A, C, D, F are symbol nodes. And next is a branch. A branch means line of interconnection between any two principal nodes. The possible interconnection between any two principal nodes is called a branch. So here the principal nodes are B and E. Okay, B and E. So the one possible of interconnection is this part. Okay, starting from here and ending here. So this interconnection, this line interconnection, this part is called a branch, BAE. Similarly, another possibility of interconnection between B and E is this line. Okay, this voltage source and 50 ohm. So it is another branch, BFE. Another possibility of interconnection between B and E is this part. Okay, this line. So it is another branch, BCDE. So there are total 3 branches. And next is loop. Loop is a closed path, any closed path in a circuit. So if you are looking here, this is a closed path. So it is a loop. A, B, F, E, A, completed by A. And another possibility is this is a closed path, B, C, D, E, F. Another possibility is starting from here and through this and ending in A. A, B, C, D, E, again A. So that is another loop. So there are total 3 loops. So next we can discuss the steps that we are using while solving a circuit using Kirchhoff's laws. First step is we have to identify the principal nodes in a given circuit. Okay. So principal nodes means the nodes formed by interconnecting more than two elements. So if you are looking here, this node is found by interconnecting R1, R3 and V2. Okay, so it is a principal node. And another one is, this is by only two elements, this is 2, this one. Okay, this is a node. So this by R2, R4 and V1. So this is another principal node. So the only principal nodes are A and B. There are two principal nodes. Okay. Next, we have to identify the branches in the given circuit. Branches means the interconnection between A and B, possible interconnections. So first one is this one, that is first branch. Second one is this one, that is second branch. Third one is this one, that is third branch. Next, we have to assume the branch currents. Okay, assign the branch currents by assuming the direction. So first, for this branch, we are assigning the current as I1 by assuming a current direction in this direction. Okay, you can arbitrarily take the direction. Okay, assume the direction. So I1 is flowing like this through this branch. For each branch, we have to assign the currents. So the unknown currents will be the number of branches. Okay. Next one is for this branch, we are assuming current I2 like flowing like in this direction. We are assuming current I2 is flowing in this branch. Next, for this branch, we are assuming the current as I3 and flowing in this direction. Okay. Okay. So we know that branch is a series. It will be series. Okay. So it is having only a single current will be flowing, or same current will be flowing through the branch. Okay, so I1, I2 and I3. Next step is, we have to apply KCL at principal nodes and write the KCL equations. Okay, principal nodes means A and B. Here A and B. So while applying the KCL, we have to follow this sign convention. If the current is entering, it is positive. Current is leaving, it is negative. If you are looking at A, I1 is entering here, I2 is entering here, and I3 is leaving here. So I1, I2 is positive, I3 is negative. So I1 plus I2 minus I3 equal to 0. At point at node A, principal node A. Next principal node is B. So at node B, I1 is leaving, I2 is leaving, and I3 is entering. I3 is entering like this. So it is minus I1 minus I2 plus I3 equal to 0. But if you are looking here, this is I1 plus I2 minus I3 equal to 0. This is minus I1 minus I2 plus I3 equal to 0. They are same equations. Okay. If you are multiplying by minus 1, I1 plus I2 minus I3 equal to 0. So there is only one distinct KCL equation. So we have to write down that KCL equation. I1 plus I2 minus I3 equal to 0. So in this case, there is only one equation. So we can number as 1.1. If there are number of equations, we can name it as 1.2, 1.5, etc. like that. Next step is, we have to write the non-branch currents. So if you are looking here, the branch currents are I1, I2, I3. So out of this, if you are looking I3 is this branch current. Okay. So there is a current source here. Means this current source represents that through this branch, current I, the value of the current source I is flowing in this direction. Okay, in this direction, upward. Okay, means I3, the branch current I3 is known. Okay, but the direction is I3 is flowing. We have assumed that I3 is flowing in this direction, but actual direction is, the current direction is upward. So I3 equal to minus I. Okay, so I3 is a non-branch current. The non-branch current means it will be in the branches which is having a series current source. Okay. So here I3 is non-branch current, I1, I2 are unknown branch currents. Okay. So here there is only one current source, So only this branch is having a current source, so we will be having only one non-branch current. So you can put the equation as 2.1. If there are number of equations, we can write as 2.2, 2.3, etc. Next is we have to mark the voltage across each resistors. Okay, R1, R2, R3, R4. So while marking the voltage across a resistance, we have to take this sign convention. Means we have to assign the positive terminal as the point in which the current is entering will be positive. The current leaving point will be negative. So this point here for R1, the current is entering at this terminal, so it is positive, and leaving at this terminal, so it is negative. And the current flowing through it is this branch current I1. So the voltage is I1 into R1. Voltage is I1 R1 and the direction is plus here, minus here. Similarly for R2, the current is flowing like this. So current is entering this terminal and leaving this terminal. So here will be plus and here will be minus. And the current is I2. So the voltage will be I2 into R2. Similarly for R3, the branch current is flowing like this. So this point will be plus and this will be minus. So here plus, here minus, and the current is I3. So the voltage will be I3 into R3. Similarly for R4, the current is entering this point, leaving this point. So here plus and here minus. The current is I3. I3 is flowing through R4. So the voltage will be I3 into R4. So these are the voltages across each resistors. Next step is we have to find the loops which have no current sources. Okay, so if you are looking here, there are 1, 2, 3 total loops. Okay, this is a closed loop, this is a closed loop, and this is a closed loop. But this loop is having a current source and this loop is also having a current source. Only the loop which is having no current source is this one. Okay, so we have, this is the only loop which is having no current sources. In this example, there is only one. Okay. Then next step is we have to apply KVL in such loops. Means there is no current sources. Loop which is having no current sources, by assuming a loop direction in clockwise direction. The loop direction is taken as clockwise. Okay, in this direction. Okay. We are only applying KVL in loops which is having no current sources, because we cannot apply KVL here because we do not know the voltage across this current source. Okay. So if you are applying the KVL here, we have to follow the sign convention like this. Means if loop current, loop direction enters, the direction is here. Okay, this direction and clockwise direction. Okay, so if it is entering positive terminal, we have to take it as positive. That voltage drop should be taken as positive. If it is entering negative terminal, we have to take that voltage drop as negative. So out of this loop, the voltages are V1, I1 R1, V2 and I2 R2. And the sign is like this. Okay, the sum is 0 according to KVL equation. So for V1, we can consider from here. Okay, so the direction is, loop direction is clockwise. Okay. So moving from here, it is entering minus, so it is minus V1, and moving, so for R1 it is entering the plus, loop direction is entering plus, so plus I1 R1, and loop direction is entering for V2 in positive terminal, so it is plus V2, and for next voltage drop is I2 R2, so it is entering minus, so it is minus I2 R2. The sum is 0. So there is only one loop which is having no current source. So there is only one KVL equation. So we can write down that equation I1 R1 minus I2 R2 equal to V1 minus V2. So this is the KVL equation. So we can number the equation as 3.1. So now we have KCL equation, non-branch currents and KVL equations. Okay. So this number will vary according to the circuit. If there are number of principal nodes, we will be having number of KCL equations. Number of non-branch currents, there are number of equations. For KVL equation also, if there are number of loops which is having no current source, there will be number of equations. So we have this much equations, and we can solve for unknown branch currents. So we'll be getting I1, I2, I3 from these equations. So if we get I1, I2, I3, we can find the current through all elements. For example, here for current through resistors. So for R1, I1 will be 5. For R2, the current will be I2. For R3, it will be I3. For R4, it will be I3. And we can find the current delivered by the voltage sources. For this voltage source, the current delivering is I1. So it is I1. And for this voltage source, current delivering is I2. Okay. So these are the steps involved in solving the circuits. So with this, we can wind up the session.